right. So, on a recent episode of Podcast to Connect, my other podcast that focuses just on the marketing side of podcasting, but not necessarily through ChatGPT, I talked about metadata and I listed off four specific places to add metadata to your podcast audio to help searchability, to help your listeners find you, your potential listeners find you. And today I actually want to take ChatGPT and see if we can use it to massage one of those metadata, specifically episode titles. I've had a really weird situation lately with one of my older podcasts, which I have not updated in over a year. And it's had a resurgence, and I want to freshen up some of the titles to make sure they reflect what's in there, as well as have some relevant keywords to what I think is going to be an increase in people leaving the US soon. So I want them to be able to find the information that's in these episodes. So that is what I want to do today, is to refresh episode titles to make them more relevant. Make them more relevant. Hi, I'm Steph from Coffee Like Media. I help folks get their message out into the world so they can connect with the right people and move their project forward, or just make those connections that are really important to them. It depends on if it's a business podcast or a community podcast. Those are generally the two camps of folks that I help. If you need any help with your podcast or ChatGPT to do a lot more with your messaging for your podcast, please do reach out at coffeelikemedia.com. I am really excited about this is happening. Geopats is my first podcast love. It is my first podcast that I ever made, and it went on for 6 or so years. A lot of people were pod fading or starting up during the pandemic. I was already a few years in, like 3 or 4 years into my podcast, into Geopats, and so I just kept going like crazy because I had lots of time on my hands. I've always had my podcast on YouTube in some way, shape, or form, but Geopats was kind of a mess because it was my first one. So while I was learning 7 years ago how to do podcasting, you could see the growing pains of learning how to use YouTube and how to use podcasting and how to use a mic for that reason from the older episodes. So I didn't like the inconsistency, and so I decided to move the videos off of their channel there, and I was going to create just a very clean, nice looking static image YouTube channel. And that I just didn't have time to do that with especially 100 and I think it's like 130 episodes. So what I did this week finally, because I was really sick of it being a to-do item and I really wanted the information to be there, is I decided to opt for YouTube ingestion or RSS ingestion on YouTube. There's 3 different ways you can get your podcast on YouTube now, and this is not that video where I go into that, but I'm just want to let you know the way I did it is I took my RSS feed from Buzzsprout, my podcast host, and I put it into YouTube, and I had them bring in all of my episodes from Buzzsprout into YouTube. And I figured they would just be there. It's a static image, which is what I wanted to do from the first place. They don't position the image well. You can change it. You can optimize the videos like you can any YouTube video, but it's not the best looking static image that you can have. But because there's so many of them and I just don't have time to do this one by one, I figured I would try just getting all of them up there at once. And lo and behold, it's only been a few days, and I'm just amazed that already you can see over here 218 views. 218 views of these episodes that have just been sitting on my computer, not being on YouTube for a couple of years at least. What? So so I want to go in and I'll show you here. So this is the analytics. It was literally 2 days ago that I put them up there. And so on July 23rd, okay, 3 days, I put them up there, and up the views went. I haven't dug too far into how much of them are they watching. They've watched 8.8 hours and 167 videos. So that can give you a sense of how long into the videos they've gotten. That's fine. But another way of getting the right ears on your podcast so they listen longer, because if you want someone to be part of your community, you want them to actually want the information that's in there. I'm not playing with the episode titles to trick people to listen so my numbers will go higher and I make tons of money. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't care about that. So what I want to do is that the titles are a combination of things that people are searching for that I can answer in these episodes. Title with Vishnu. It is a long one. I need your help. Wait, I want to make sure I'm on 4.0. Oh, let's use 4omini. I haven't used that yet. So I need your help. I think 4omini has the internet. Let's see. I need your help rewording this podcast episode title to have certain information. Can you ask me some questions to get the information before rewording the title? Ask one question at a time. And at the end of the segment, at the end of the segment, I guess. I don't know what to say today. Ask me if I'm ready for the next question. Now, this is prompt chaining. It is when you go back and forth with ChatGPT until you have the copy or whatever you're working on as close as you can to what you want it to be like. So you just copy and paste over. Never copy and paste over something straight from one prompt to that one output. Don't do that. So Chat is saying, what is the main topic or focus of the podcast episode? So you know what I want to do? I want to go and get the description. That feels like a good thing to do. Where's the episode, people? There we go. So I'm going to go in here. I don't want to listen to it right now. Okay. The next question Chatty asks me is, what is the main highlight or most interesting aspect of this episode that you'd like to emphasize in the title? I love that question because we can't always get everything, right? So I'm going to write, I haven't listened to the episode in a while, but I remember the abundance and innovation in podcasts in India. Yeah. It's like it was a burgeoning market then, so I can only imagine what it is now. And he's asking, would you like to mention Vishnu's unique role or perspective as a podcaster and engineer in the title, or would you prefer to keep the focus more on the broader topic of podcasting in India? This is a really good point. And what I have heard is if somebody is famous, like a celebrity, not just famous in your mind, because Vishnu is famous in my mind, he's wonderful, then you would put them, if they are a celebrity, put them at the beginning of the title, and if they're not, put them at the end of the title. I'm going to say, although I do adore him, I don't think he's a celebrity. So I'm going to say, please put his name at the end of the title. And because celebrities tend to like their names tend to turn into keywords. They're still people, clearly, but they turn into keywords, and you really want to front load your episode titles. It's now asking me, are there any specific keywords or phrases? It's now asking me, are there any keywords or phrases you want to include in the title, such as innovation, abundance, or podcasting? What are trending on search engines about podcasting? Now let's see if 4omini is connected to the internet. I'm not quite sure if it is or not these days. These days sound so old. Oh, it gave me a list. Some trending keywords or phrases related to podcasting currently used, and it gave me a list of all of them. I'm not going to read them all out, but I will take a look. Ooh, global podcasting insights is good, but also mention India in the title. Are you ready for the next question? Yes. It should have asked me that question a few other times, but it didn't. But it did ask me one question at a time, so Chatty is behaving. It says, perfect. Is there a particular tone or style you prefer for the title? Really good question. Oh man, I'm liking these. For example, should it be more formal, casual, or eye-catching? Front load the keywords and keep the title to, I think, as much as I like longer titles for YouTube, there is a word limit, and I don't remember what that is, but let's go with five words. 5 words before his name. Let's see if we can do that. Parameters are really good for Chatty. Otherwise, titles can be really long. Anything it writes can be really long. So here's an option. Global podcasting insights, innovation in India with Vishnu. So I don't want a semicolon, a colon. Okay. Front load the words India and podcasting. I think those are the 2 most catchy ones that'll tell you what is in the episode, because we are 99% focusing on that. The new option it has is India podcasting innovation and global insights with Vishnu, and I cannot say his name, so I'm not going to butcher that. Does that fit what you're looking for? Says Chatty. No. Lose global insights. I think that's too clunky there. India podcasting innovation with, okay, yeah, we need one more word to describe indie podcasting scene, maybe? Indian podcasting scene. I think that might be better. Indian podcasting scene with Vishnu Pan. Okay. I'm going to ask it, are there any other keywords that you think would help the YouTube video in search? It gave me a few options. There aren't many, so I will read them out. Indian podcasting trends, podcasting in India, India podcaster insights, podcasting innovations, India podcasting tips. I like podcasting in India, but it's not just his story, because we do talk about the scene as itself. I think I might go with Indian podcasting scene with Vishnu. What was the old title? Podcasting scene in Bangalore, India with Vishnu. See, that's the same. Maybe it doesn't need to be rewritten. Maybe the thing I need to do is put India first, because before I had podcasting scene in Bangalore, and now I think, after reworking this, I think I want Indian podcasting scene. Yeah. So it is a very small change in this case, but I do like that new one, putting India first and not necessarily mentioning his podcast. The information will be in the show notes, and we definitely are talking about his podcast, which I don't think is still going, but that's not why I'm taking it out. I'm taking it out for clarity's sake. We are talking about this Indian podcasting scene as a whole. So I think that works. I think I'm going to go back to year 1 and do those titles first, because I did not know what the heck I was doing. So there you have it. You can use ChatGPT to prompt chain your way through a title. Now, you can use the voice prompt as well, the mobile app where you can talk back and forth. And I have a whole bunch of videos I'll connect to this one, where you can learn how to prompt chain via voice if you don't feel like typing. For today, because I'm working with this spreadsheet and I wanted to try out 4omini, I felt the need to do that. Mini did seem a little bit faster, by the way. There was a lot less lag time. So, I'm not fully convinced it had access to the internet. I have to do more research on that and play around with it some more. But I feel like for massaging it and giving me some stronger keywords and rearranging it and giving me lots of options, it really got my brain going. Did it rewrite the episodes for me in the perfect way immediately? No, but it got me thinking of different ways I could do it. And ultimately, even by looking at things I didn't like, it helped me understand things I thought would make it better. So even if you see things that are awful, that can help you get to the good stuff. Believe it or not, seeing really bad versions of things you're trying to perfect can help you get there to perfection or to better. Let's just aim for better. Anyway, this has been Steph from Coffee Like Media, and if you need any help with this, or you want to come on AI and podcasting and do a mini coaching session with me, I'm happy to do that with you. I have a couple of examples on the channel already with folks who are totally game for doing that, and they've been super fun. You just need to think of one specific task you're trying to do on ChatGPT, and we'll do it. I do edit those afterwards, so don't worry. I will make sure that that you sound good. All right. Also, if you prefer not to do that in public, we can do it in private, and we can do a one-on-one session to help you out with that. Go to coffeelikemedia.com. You can also contact me via AI and podcasting.substack.com. And and let me know what you need, and we'll work something out, and we'll get you going with Chatty so that you can massage your podcast copy, your podcast messaging to get more of the ears and eyes on your podcast so you can build that community. See you next time.